Festival season is fast approaching, and one of the most important things you'll need to survive is a good quality tent. But times are tough at the minute, and not everyone can afford to spend big on one. So today we've got a few tents of different price ranges to try and help you find the right one for you. So the first option we've got is a very low budget option. This is just a simple dome tent for 2 people. It's £15 from Home Bargains, but you can probably get them from most supermarkets for roughly the same price. My glamorous assistant Johnny is going to start setting it up. It's just a single layer. It's very easy to set up, but it doesn't provide a lot of protection from the elements. So if it's raining or if it's windy, there's no outer shell to protect you. But it's so easy to set up that even an idiot could do it.
You say that I can't even do this.
So it is just a very basic, simple inner. There's not much room, but if you are planning on maybe just coming on your own, there's not much gear, not much room to roll about and stuff, especially if you've got an airbed. But if you are just coming with like a basic plan, just the basic stuff, you can use your backpack as your pillow, save, give yourself a bit more space. That's where your feet will go to, so you might want to consider that, especially if you've got a blow up airbed. They tend to come up a little bit, and there is no zip on the outer, only the inner. So it does have like an inner mesh on the door, but that's literally all the cover that you've got. So if you're coming out of a morning, that's literally what you'll see. Or not that, you won't see that because that's my garden, not the festival. This is based on my height. I'm roughly 6 foot, but that's where I come to just being sat in the tent. So something to consider. There's not a lot of space in here. Again, it's just a single layer, so there's not much protection. There will be a lot of condensation. Not ideal, but if you are only going to spend 15 quid, if you're on a very tight budget, then it'll do the job basically. So just like that, really easy to put away. It took me and Johnny maybe a minute to fold it up, roll it and put it back in the bag. It fits nice and compact. It's really easy to carry. Probably throw it over your arm or something, or tie it onto your rucksack if you're taking something like that. Dead simple, quite cheap, but again, it has its downsides in that it's quite small and it's not very much protection. So next up, we've got the AdTrek 4-man dome tent, which Johnny is busy getting out the bag behind me. This is from Outdoor World. It's about £40, and this is a bit more difficult to set up in the sense that it's got an inner layer and an outer layer, which obviously gives you more cover from the elements. With 2 layers, it means that if the outer gets wet and you put it upright, that the inside will stay completely dry. It's got an inner bedroom, which means that all your stuff can stay in there, stay dry, stay free from all the mud. And it comes with a porch, which means you can have a little separate area to get your boots on and stuff before you get into your actual area where the bed's going to be. But the porch area doesn't come with a ground sheet, so if the floor that you're putting your tent on is already rough or muddy, just remember that there's nothing there to then cover that. So this is your inner frame, which is just 2 poles going over in the cross section. This is your main bedroom, but this right here is the outer. So there's not enough protection for the elements on this tent as it stands. The rain can still get in the top. There's nowhere near enough thermal protection, so this is why you've got an outer that you can then throw over, and that'll give you the extra protection. So this is what that looks like all set up. Obviously you would properly peg out all your guide ropes and everything at the sides, but we're not doing that today just because we can't be bothered. So this is what it's like inside. There's a lot more room than the last one. This says that it sleeps 4, but it probably could do 2 or 3. They say 4, meaning that if you literally take the body shape of 4 people and line them up next to each other, then it would fit 4 people. But when you think about, you're going to have yourselves, your bags, if anyone's got an airbed or anything like that. There's loads of room inside. I'm currently kneeling, so that gives you an idea of how tall it goes up to. When you're putting it up properly, you'll want to make sure that when you peg it out, these 2 layers are separated, because if it's raining, the outer gets wet. The inside will stay dry, but if the outside is touching the inside, then the inside will get wet as well, which you don't want. Obviously, you've got loads of room to put all your stuff right the way up to the edges if you peg it out properly. So it just gives you that extra bit of floor space. And then that porch space, as we were saying, there is no ground sheet to go there, but one of the pegs has come out. Let's look at this side instead. So there is quite a lot of room for you to put anything you've got in there. If you want to put your chair in there overnight, save it getting wet, any muddy boots and wellies will all fit in there more than comfortably. For 40 quid, probably definitely worth it. I've actually used this a few times. It's fell down.
Yeah,
Put that down. Put that down to user incompetence, not the tent itself. But for 40 quid, it does the job. It will keep you dry if you put it upright, but hopefully you'll have gorgeous weather like this. So again, fairly easy to put away. Took us maybe a few minutes again. Took longer than it should have because it's a little bit windy today. For 2 to 3 people should be absolutely perfect. Again, it's only £40. I got this from Outdoor World. You can get it from a lot of places online. Fairly lightweight, fairly easy to carry, but it'll also clip on your bag quite easily. It should be easy to transport, doesn't take up too much space in the bag. Or again, if you want to throw it over your shoulder, you can do. I've personally used something similar to this quite a few years at Download. It's always done me fine. So if you're looking for like a mid-ranged thing that doesn't cost too much, then this is absolutely perfect. On to number 3. Next up is the Eurohike Ribble 2. This is £65 from Ultimate Outdoors, but I'm sure if you do a bit of price searching online, you can find it for a little bit cheaper. This is a bit of a different one in that, like the last one, it comes with a bedroom that's separate, but the bedroom is a lot smaller because the porch is a lot bigger. It comes with a canopy, so you can put your chair in it and you can have the roof come out. We'll show you in a minute when we put it up. So now that the outer is set up, you've kind of got the basic frame. That's the shape and size of your tent. But obviously this tent also comes with an inner. So it's a little bit different. This one, obviously you've got the bit that comes out. So these side bits of the door are still attached and will come up. And that's how much room you've got there to sit under it. But the inside needs to now clip onto the outside to give you that extra layer of protection. First thing you want to do is these little toggles should reach out and push onto the outer.
You should have one there. If you don't, just hook it onto your metal roof.
And then smaller toggles into these little holes that go all the way across, go all the way on this side and then all the way on this side. So there is your inner bedroom. It is quite spacious, probably not as spacious as the other one. So probably maybe only 2 people in there with all your gear, and then your little porch area. And like we said, that's the what's it called?
Canopy.
The canopy. Thank you. It is a bit smaller than the one we did before, but if you go in on your own, it's a perfect little tent. It's got a little canopy area for you to sit under. Probably not big enough for you to put a chair, maybe. But if you put it upright and you protect yourself from any rain, hopefully again you won't have any rain. It'll be a day as glorious as today. It doesn't take up much space to put up, and it doesn't take long to put away either. For 65 quid, considering it's maybe only between 1 or 2 people at most, maybe price wise it might not be worth it, I don't know. But if you like the idea of having that canopy bit open and then you want to sit under that, if that's something that you want to go for, then it's not a bad tent at all. It will keep you dry if it goes upright. Personally, I would go for something that's a little bit bigger on the inside, just so you've got a bit more space. Now, people who've been watching this channel for a long time will recognise this next tent. This is the Eurohike 4-man pop-up. It's by far the easiest to put up because, as in the name, it pops up. So you literally undo the strap and throw it.
Ish.
Ta-da! Now, this is currently available on Millet's website for about 80 quid. You can get it from Go Outdoors, but it's a little bit cheaper at Millet's. Apart from the next tent that's on this list, which is the one that I'm using currently, this is my favourite by far on this list. It's really easy to put up. It's difficult to take down unless you know what you're doing, but we'll show you how to do that in a minute. Now, this tent has served me quite well, as you'll have seen in quite a lot of videos. It's been to a few downloads, it's been to Reading Festival, 2000 Trees a few times. So it's very reliable. I'm a big fan of it. But there's a lot of room inside, which I'll show you now. What are you doing there?
Hello.
Get out.
Ah.
It's absolutely massive, and if you can see at the very far end there, it's got a second door. I tend to use only the one door just to keep it simple, but it does mean that there's an extra storage space at the back of the tent as well if you need to use it. Now, there is a lot of room in this to stand up as well. It's not just wide floor space, but it's quite tall, as you'll have seen in videos before. I use this by myself and it's been an absolute godsend. And then to put it away is probably the hardest part of the entire thing. Your hands like that, bring it to you, and it falls into a circle like that. Fold the circles over like that. So that's the Eurohike pop 400. It can be a bit stressful when packing it away, but as you've seen in previous videos, this little tent has saved me many times. And most importantly, when you get to a festival, the first thing you want to do is just get your tent up and start drinking and start having fun. And this is absolutely perfect for it. It's 80 quid, so it is a little bit expensive. I wouldn't blame anyone if they didn't go for this, but if you've got the money to spend, I'd say this is perfect. Speaking of getting set up and having a drink, Johnny, should we have a break?
Definitely.
And then last, but by no means least, we've got this bad boy, which is currently not in the bag because I didn't put it away properly at last year's festival. My fault. This is the Out Sunny 4-man, and it's very similar to a tent that was very popular at last year's Download Festival called the Sendero 4, and it was very popular because it was the biggest for the cheapest. This is available in Go Outdoors for £115, which sounds like a lot, but when you consider that the full retail price is near 300, it's not actually that bad. If you watched any of our videos from last year's festival season, you'll know just how good this tent is. It's extremely spacious, both in terms of floor space, and you can stand upright in it. It's got a massive porch where you can put all your stuff. You can put a couple of chairs in there. You can essentially use that porch as a gazebo. The only downside to it really is that because of its size, it is quite difficult to transport, both in terms of if you're traveling by car or by train, and also the weight of it is impossible to carry. It's also incredibly difficult to put up, which you're about to find out right now. Anyone who watched any of our vlogs from last year will know that I absolutely adore this tent, even though it's frustrating to put up, which today actually it wasn't that bad. I think it's one of those things that when it's windy, trying to get the poles into the little toggles that it gives you is an absolute nightmare. And I just want to take this opportunity to apologise to Andy and to Alana for things I said and the way I behaved when we put this up at 2000 Trees last year. Once it's up, you've got your bedroom there, which then zips into, you can't really see it there, it zips into two smaller bedrooms if you want to share with someone, but you don't want to actually share the space. And then this massive area of living space, which, as I said before, you can put your chairs in. You can essentially treat this as another gazebo. The bedroom itself is blacked out, which means it protects against the heat. If you look on the outside, you can see that this is suspended quite far away from the outer. I've taken this to 5 festivals now, and not once has anything in this bedroom been wet. Get your mind out of the gutter. So as I said, this is about £115 altogether. Very similar to the Sendero 4, which is a similar price. They were very popular during last festival season because they were on offer. So a lot of the tents you saw at last year's camping festivals were similar to this. It does take up a lot of space. It is quite heavy to carry, and it is quite difficult to set up and put away again. But once this is set up, this is my ideal tent, and this is what I'll be using for every festival from now on. We're not going to pack it down just yet. I'm going to leave this set up overnight to give it a bit of air, because this hasn't been up since August last year. Give it everything a chance to air out, dry off, whatever it needs to do. Just get rid of some of the smells that were in it. But apart from that, hopefully that's everything you need to know about this tent and the others that we've covered in this video. If you like the sound of them and you're thinking about buying any of them, let us know down below. Or if there's anything that we've missed about any of these tents, or tents that you think might be even better, let us know down below. Share your knowledge. A few people did that in a video we did similar to this last year, and some really good suggestions were made in the comments. So let us know down below. Let us know if you're going to any festivals this summer. If everything goes according to plan, we'll be at 8 over the next few months, so you'll see us there, hopefully. We've also got another tips video before festival season starts that'll be coming very soon, as well as all the vlogs that we've got for all the festivals that we're doing as well. So if you want to see any of them over the next few months, then subscribe down below. Thank you to everyone who supports this channel. Obviously we had our big film that came out a few weeks ago now. Thank you to all the support for that. We've got an even bigger festival season than we did last year, so stick around for that, because it's going to be really, really good. I can promise you it's going to be really, really, really good. Can't wait to show you what we've got coming up. Thank you again for watching, and we will see you in the next one.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for watching. If you want to see something really similar to that, you can click up here and watch that. And if you want to see something that's absolutely not that, completely different to that, click up here and watch that. And you should just subscribe to us here. Thank you.